talk is J. Chris, and I'll let him take it from here.
Hey everyone, it's really fun to be back. I lived in Portland for a long time, and I moved down to the Bay Area to do a startup, and we're finally big enough that I could move back to Portland. So I've been back for like maybe a month and a half now. Thanks. So it's really fun to be back here because I actually got married on this stage, and about 7 years ago now. So I made a little NPM module that there's I'm going to say there's a 25% chance of this sort of experiment working, based on I haven't tested it on the firewall yet, but I have an IP address, a DHCP address and stuff, and so if you go npm install Twitter fight and then run npm start, you might be able to play along. And anyway, I just wanted to pregame that a little bit. There will be another slide with that information in a second. I work for Couchbase. We're a NoSQL JSON document database, and I want to do a quick pitch about my day job because my day job doesn't involve Node.js. I got to write. I love speaking at Node conferences because it gives me an excuse to write some Node, because it's really the language that I enjoy writing. But my team at Couchbase is building this mobile thing for Android and iOS that it speaks the Apache CouchDB replication protocol, but you can have a big scale, high performance thingy on the back end, and hopefully not have to worry about how you're shuffling data back and forth to all those occasionally connected devices that your users have in their hands. So you can come talk to me later about mobile stuff if you want. That's really, that's what I do all the time. So today I want to talk about this hands-on real-time text analytics stuff. And what we're doing in the code I'm going to show is kind of the tip of the iceberg of something that we built as a proof of concept for a customer a couple years ago. But the idea is you just have all these tweets flying at you really fast, and you need to store in a compact way that can be, shared across all your users. Ooh, I wonder what I did. And so we're essentially just incrementing little counters in Couchbase Server, which is a low overhead operation, and then running a query to sort of get the things that have been counted the most. So you don't need to go get Couchbase to do any of this today, but it's easy to get. And there's an npm package for the client driver for Node.js. The reason why people use Couchbase, just to give you the context, because there's some simpler to get started with database systems, but if you have the kind of app where you might need to grow dynamically under load, all of a sudden a bunch more users show up, then our sweet spot is being able to add more nodes to that cluster and have the data rebalance across it, and then the clients directly access where that data lives, so you get low latency, sort of memcached class speeds, less than a millisecond for the most part, access to that data. So that's the technology that we're going to be playing with today. And in order to build something that's that sort of puts that premium on performance and scale, we are not a relational database. So I guess this is probably a pretty progressive room, but I'm curious how many people have used NoSQL databases. All right, so kind of like everybody in here practically. So I don't have to tell you too much. Basically, we're just storing JSON in the database, and so I have kind of one way that I like to think about this is that the schema sort of emerges from what your code does, right? So you're writing features or pulling in some data from an API, and you're going to discover the schema.